Here we go. The episode begins at a Lannister camp. Handsome Man in Armor is reading a letter from Papa Stark that says that they need to go to trial because apparently some Lannister bannermen and Handsome Man in Armor attacked Papa Stark. While Handsome Man in Armor is reading this, Daddy Lannister is gutting a dead animal. No latex gloves or anything, just sticking his bare hands into this animal's stomach and taking out its guts. Daddy Lannister is mad that Handsome Man in Armor didn't kill Papa Stark, and he tells Handsome Man in Armor that they have an opportunity to make the Lannister family a dynasty, or as he calls it, a dynasty. He also calls Amanda Bynes Amanda Bins. Daddy Lannister finishes skinning this animal and he wipes his filthy hands with a dirty rag. Yeah, that should totally make your hands clean. He walks over to Handsome Man in Armor and touches his face with his nasty animal guts hand. He tells Handsome Man in Armor that they need to get Peter Dinklage back from Mama Stark, and then he removes his slimy hand from Handsome Man in Armor's beautiful face and goes back to slicing the animal. We cut to Short-Haired Queen telling Papa Stark he should leave. Short-Haired Queen says that her brother would have killed Chubby King for hitting her, and Papa Stark says, "Your brother? Or your lover?" Boom! Got her! Short-Haired Queen doesn't even try to deny that her and Handsome Man in Armor are banging. She admits that all of her kids are Handsome Man in Armor's kids. Papa Stark asks if she's always hated Chubby King, but apparently when Short-Haired Queen married him, he wasn't chubby yet, but he was still in love with Papa Stark's dead sister. Papa Stark tells Short-Haired Queen to take her children and leave because he plans on telling Chubby King the truth. Short-Haired Queen tells him that he should have taken the throne for himself when King's Landing fell all those years ago, but Papa Stark disagrees. Then Short-Haired Queen says, "When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die." She said the name of the show. That's why it's called Game of Thrones. Just like in Friends when Rachel says, "Look at us, we're all friends." Or in Mad Men when Don Draper walks into a room full of angry guys and says, "You're a bunch of mad men." We cut to Radissiston creepily watching a bunch of naked babies get baths. This dude is gross. He retreats back into his brothel and we see Cleavage Lady moaning like a porn star. Radissiston tells her she's doing it all wrong and proceeds to teach her how to seduce a man. This scene has quickly just become a softcore porn. I can't show you guys any of this. Cleavage Lady invites Radissiston to join them, but Radissiston says he's saving himself for someone else. He's talking about Mama Stark and he tells the story of how Mama Stark was supposed to marry Papa Stark's brother and Radissiston tried to duel him to win her over, but he obviously lost the duel because he's a puny little worthless rat. Then Papa Stark's brother died before the wedding and Mama Stark ended up with Papa Stark instead. Very interesting. We cut to Angry Lady talking to Green Eyed Guy. He's being a prick and telling her to call him Lord, but she points out that he's not a Lord yet because his dad is still Lord. But really there's only one Lord, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ. And Lord the Singer. I guess there's two Lords. The Catholics really need to update their teachings. Green-Eyed Guy grabs Angry Lady and it seems like he either wants to beat her up or have sex with her, but then Old Guy comes in and shoos him away. Old Guy asks Angry Lady why she came here and she says that she was trying to get as far south as possible before the zombies take over. We cut to the wall and we're back in Heavyset Guy's girl crazy phase. He's trying to talk to Bastard King about how he misses being around girls when Bastard King's uncle's horse arrives at the wall with no rider. We quickly cut to Short King staggering towards Papa Stark and telling him that something happened to Chubby King. Then we see Chubby King laying in bed, basically telling Jeffrey that he's about to die. Papa Stark walks in and Chubby King tells him that a boar gored him. Chubby King sends everybody out of the room and has Papa Stark write a declaration that Papa Stark is to take over as king until Jeffrey comes of age. But Papa Stark, instead of writing that Jeffrey is to take over, writes that Chubby King's rightful heir will take over. Papa Stark is so clever. Chubby King signs it and tells Papa Stark to let Legolas Queen live. He then tells Papa Stark to teach Jeffrey how to be a good king. Why isn't Papa Stark telling him that his children aren't his? Then Papa Stark walks outside and Bald Guy heavily implies that the Lannister squire that gave Chubby King his wine had orders to tamper with it to make Chubby King more susceptible to an accident. Papa Stark, go back in that room and have Chubby King sign a thing to make all the Lannisters go to jail. You're a fool! Bald Guy also says that it's too late to stop his men from attempting to kill Legolas Queen. We cut to Legolas Queen doing Eyeliner Guy's hair like two teens at a slumber party. This wooden hut that they're in is full of lit candles. That's like the definition of a fire hazard. Legolas Queen tries to hint to Eyeliner Guy that if they cross the sea, they can take over the Seven Kingdoms, but he doesn't seem too interested. He just wants to have a ponytail and ride his horse around. Then we go outside and Legolas Queen talks to Scar Guy. They chat for a minute and then Scar Guy walks away to get his mail. A little boy hands him a note and says that it's a royal pardon and he's allowed to go home now. Why does the mailman know what his mail is? Is this his pardon after getting in trouble for selling slaves? Or am I forgetting something else super obvious? A vendor on the street says that he has wine for sale and he offers Legolas Queen some. Oh boy, this is gonna be poison, isn't it? Scar Scar Guy walks over and tells the vendor to pour him a glass. He sniffs it and then tells the vendor that he needs to have a sip first. The vendor takes the glass and then tries to run away, but a muscular long-haired man whips him to the ground. We cut to the wall. Groombeard is giving a speech to the Night's Watchman, and Heavyset Guy whispers to Bastard King that he's going to be a steward and Bastard King is going to be a ranger. They're all excited to be assigned to their new jobs, and then Groombeard starts sorting them into jobs like he's a sorting hat. He makes Heavyset Guy a steward, and then he makes Bastard King a steward. Bastard King looks heartbroken. This is what my face looks like when I order a milkshake from McDonald's and their ice cream machine is broken. Meanwhile, Tiny Eyes is smiling because he hates Bastard King. Also, can we talk about how Bastard King is the only guy with light-colored fur on his coat? Obviously, they're gonna pick on you. You stick out like a sore thumb. This is just like in the Disney Channel original movie Cadet Kelly when Hilary Duff tries to spice up her military outfit and she gets in trouble. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Old Blind Man tells everybody where to go, and he tells Bastard King that he's gonna be Groombeard's personal assistant. Bastard King is madder than Christy Carlson Romano in the Disney Channel original movie Cadet Kelly. Any Cadet Kelly fans out there? Anybody? Bastard King runs away and Heavyset Guy tries to calm him down. He tells him that he'll be involved in everything Groombeard does, and he should be honored that he personally asked for Bastard King to be his assistant. Heavyset Guy is a great friend. Kinda like how Andrea Lewis is a great friend to Hilary Duff in the Disney Channel original movie Cadet Kelly. 3 Cadet Kelly references in one video. What am I doing? We cut to Short King telling Papa Stark that they need to get Jeffrey away from Short-Haired Queen and take over King's Landing. Short King sees his opportunity to be king and he's trying to take it, but Papa Stark says he doesn't want to dishonor Chubby King by starting a war in his last living hours. We cut to Papa Stark giving a man a letter to be delivered straight to Son of Fire, who logically would become king if Papa Stark can convince everyone that Short-Haired Queen's sons aren't Chubby Kings. Rat Assistant walks in and Papa Stark tells him the truth about everything. Why are you choosing Rat Assistant to be the person you confide in? Rat Assistant says they should let Jeffrey become the king, make Red-Haired Queen marry him, and kill Son of Fire in the meantime. Then, if Jeffrey starts acting like a jerk, they could expose Jeffrey for the incest child that he is, and put Short King in power. This all seems like the worst plan. Papa Stark should just become the king and put everybody else in prison, including Rat Assistant. We cut back to the wall. Bastard King and Heavyset Guy walk out to a Pocahontas tree and say their vows to become official Night's Watchmen. Then Bastard King's wolf comes running over with a severed hand in his mouth. We cut to Scar Guy telling Legolas Queen that whoever is king or queen will always want her dead. Eyeliner Guy walks in and sees the vendor who tried to poison Legolas Queen. He makes sure that she's okay and tells Scar Guy that he can have any horse he wants for saving her life. Then Eyeliner Guy launches into a big speech about how he's gonna take over the 7 kingdoms and take the Iron Throne, and all of his friends cheer. Then Eyeliner Guy says that he'll kill anyone who gets in his way, and all of his friends cheer again. Then he says that he'll rape all of his enemies' women, and you'd think his friends would be like, whoa dude, alright, settle down. But they're actually into it and they all cheer for that too. We cut to Papa Stark walking into the throne room where Jeffrey is sitting on the Iron Throne. He tells Papa Stark that he wants to be crowned as king immediately. Papa Stark gives Gray-Haired Man the letter that Chubby King dictated earlier, and he reads it out loud. Then Short-Haired Queen takes the letter and tears it up. She says that they have a new king now and the letter doesn't matter. Short-Haired Queen tells Papa Stark to kneel to Jeffrey, but he says that Jeffrey has no claim to the throne. Short-Haired Queen tells Gray-Haired Man to take Papa Stark prisoner, but then Papa Stark tells the city guard to take Short-Haired Queen prisoner. The Hound is here too, and he's wearing a crazy wolf helmet. Then people start killing each other. The men that Rat Assistant said he would get to protect Papa Stark turn on him immediately. And then Rat Assistant does the biggest rat move of his whole life. He holds a knife up to Papa Stark's throat and says, "I did warn you not to trust me." And then the episode ends. The ultimate rat move. It's almost mean to rats to call him Rat Assistant. I've had rats living in my apartment before, and all they really do is gross me out and make me feel uncomfortable. Which I guess Rat Assistant also does when he goes around kissing Red-Haired Queen. This episode was very frustrating to watch. So much stuff that happens in the later seasons could have been avoided in this very episode. Papa Stark could have just put everybody in jail and became the king. There goes like 90% of the problems. He could have not sent that letter to Son of Fire. There goes that problem. It's like, come on, Papa Stark, stop being so honorable and just be a greedy boy. It was a good episode though, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Let's reach into these boxes and see which episode I'm gonna watch next. Season 5, Episode 1. Season 6, Episode 7. Season 1, Episode 5. Season 2, Episode 3. Season 3, Episode 8. So those are the options for which episode I'm gonna watch next. There should be a poll right here, a little box. Go ahead and click on that and vote for which episode you'd like me to watch. Here's a graphic to show you which episodes I've already seen to help you make your decision. Some of you have been really nice to me and have supported me on Patreon, so it's time for the shoutouts. Also, these are the last 4 names of people who have supported me on Patreon. I'm all out of patrons, so this might be the last time I do shoutouts. Unless you guys want to support me on Patreon, I'll talk to you more about that later. Daniel Frere Gilfason. Gilfason? I'm so sorry that I butchered your name. It kind of sounded like I was having a stroke right there. But I wasn't. Maybe a stroke of good luck, because you supported me on Patreon. Thank you, Daniel. David Square Root. Square Root? Your last name definitely is not Square Root, unless you invented the square root. I'm really good at square roots. Square root of 144. 12. Square root of 1,000. 30 something. 30 something. Thank you, David. Bailey Raider? I just don't know how to say anybody's name today. But you know what, Bailey? Just because I don't know how to say your last name doesn't mean that I don't know how to love you. I love you, Bailey. Thank you so much for the support. Proto Peach. Or I guess PP for short. Can I call you PP? Do people call you PP? Oh, I love PP. That probably doesn't go over well, right? Nobody calls you PP. I'm sorry, PP. I'm gonna keep calling you PP. PP! Thank you, PP. If you want to support me on Patreon, there's a link in the description below, and I'm gonna put a button at the end of the video. Like I said earlier, those were my last Patreon supporters that are getting shoutouts. So hopefully by the time I film my next episode, there will be a few more people that I can give shoutouts to. Okay, bye!